The twin suns of Varexis Prime bled across the domed horizon, their dying light washing over the Grand Arena of Xarn, a place where warriors from 1,000 species came to prove their worth, or die trying. The stands thundered with alien roars, electric banners flickering with holographic sigils, and the scent of ozone and blood filled the air. In the center of the arena stood Kareth of the Carthuan, the reigning champion, an alien warrior of immense size and strength, her skin a glimmering obsidian blue, her forearms adorned with golden armor etched in battle scars. Her reputation stretched across the galaxy. Kareth, the devourer of stars, slayer of empires. And today, the announcers promised something unprecedented. A new challenger had come, a species untested, a being called human. Kareth had laughed when she heard the name. A soft skin from the outer worlds? The council grows desperate for entertainment. The gates hissed open. A figure stepped through, small by comparison, wearing simple black combat armor, no crest, no shining metal, just matte black plating that swallowed light. His face was half-shadowed beneath a cracked visor. He was Lieutenant Aaron Holt of the Terran Expeditionary Corps. He walked with calm purpose, unshaken by the alien crowd's jeers. His pulse was steady, his gaze sharp. He'd been told that this duel was part of a diplomatic demonstration, a test to prove humanity's mettle to the Galactic Union. But Holt knew the truth. This wasn't a match. It was an execution. Human, Kareth growled as she towered above him, her voice rumbling like tectonic plates grinding. I could crush you with one hand. Why do you even step into my circle? Holt adjusted the strap of his weapon, a collapsible staff of Terran alloy. Because, he said evenly, someone needs to remind you that size isn't strength. The crowd laughed. Kareth snarled, baring teeth the size of knives. When the signal blared, she charged like a meteor. Middle. The duel begins. The arena floor cracked under her first strike. Her warhammer came down with the force of a collapsing star, but Holt had already moved, rolling under the swing, sand spraying behind him as the weapon embedded deep into the ground. In one fluid motion, he flicked the staff open, crackling with blue energy.
Clang.
The shock reverberated across the Colosseum as human steel met alien alloy. Kareth's second strike nearly threw him off balance, but Holt twisted his body midair, flipping backward, using the shockwave to launch himself away. The crowd went silent. No one had ever survived the first strike from Kareth. Kareth grinned savagely.
Good.
You can move. Now bleed. She swung again, faster this time, each hit shaking the pillars of the arena. Holt dodged narrowly, his armor scraping sparks, his breathing measured, every movement calculated. He wasn't fighting just for show. He was analyzing, learning the rhythm of her attacks. Impressive, he murmured, blocking a side blow that sent him skidding across the sand. You fight like gravity itself. Kareth laughed, an echo of thunder. And you fight like air. Fleeting. Insignificant. But Holt wasn't trying to overpower her. He was watching. Calculating. Every muscle in his body hummed with an unspoken tension, not of fear, but of something deeper. Something ancient. And then she made a mistake. Her upper left arm swung slightly wider, leaving a small opening between her ribs. Holt's eyes flicked to it instantly. He lunged, driving the end of his staff into the weak joint of her armor. Crack. Kareth roared as the jolt of kinetic energy surged through her body, forcing her to drop her weapon. The crowd gasped. Blood, a glowing violet, splattered across the ground. You drew my blood? She hissed. Holt stepped back, breathing steady. You asked for a fight. Kareth's rage boiled. She rushed forward, faster now, two of her arms grabbing him by the chest plate, the other striking, but Holt raised his staff, intercepting each blow, his armor shimmering as micro-shields flared from embedded nanotech. The last hit connected, throwing him hard into a stone wall. He groaned, pulling himself up, blood on his lip. Kareth approached, towering above him. "Yield. You've proven your point, little human." But Holt only smiled, faintly grimly. "Not yet." His right eye flickered, a faint blue glow pulsing beneath his iris. Kareth's grin faltered. "What are you?" The human who wasn't just human. The crowd leaned forward as Holt's staff began to hum louder, the air around him distorting like heat waves. The energy intensified until the ground itself started vibrating. The Terra Marines had a secret. A forbidden project buried under layers of classified silence. The Aegis Protocol. It wasn't about creating weapons, it was about creating the next step of human survival. Nanite integration. Neural fusion with adaptive combat systems. Holt wasn't just human anymore. He was something between man and machine, not by choice but by necessity. The last survivor of the Borealis incident, he had volunteered to host the nanites that once destroyed an entire research colony. The fusion nearly killed him. Instead, it rebuilt him. Kareth saw it in his eyes now. The faint electric glow, the stillness of a predator that wasn't born, but engineered. When he moved again, he moved faster than sight. The staff blurred, striking her from 4 directions at once, every hit connecting with perfect precision. Kareth tried to block, but Holt was already gone, reappearing behind her. He wasn't teleporting, just moving faster than her brain could process. She swung wildly, but Holt ducked, sliding under her legs, striking the back of her knees. She fell to one knee, stunned by the sheer fluidity of his movements. "What kind of human fights like this?" she growled, panting. "The kind," Holt said, his voice calm, almost sorrowful, that had to become more to survive. Kareth's gaze flickered between fury and disbelief. "No, you're not a soldier. You're a ghost. I'm what your wars made us," he said softly. For the first time, Kareth felt something she hadn't known in years, fear. She was born to conquer, trained to slaughter. Yet standing before her was something that defied all instinct, fragile in form, unstoppable in motion. He lowered his staff. "End this. I don't want to kill you." Kareth hesitated. In the silence, the crowd roared for blood. "Finish her. Kill the beast." Her eyes narrowed. "No one spares me." And she lunged again. This time, Holt didn't move to dodge. He caught her hammer mid-swing with one hand. The impact cracked the ground. The crowd gasped. Kareth froze. Her muscles strained, but the hammer didn't move. It was like striking a mountain that had suddenly grown sentience. The glow beneath Holt's skin intensified, nanites reinforcing his body at a cellular level. "I told you," he said quietly, "I'm not just human anymore." He twisted the weapon aside, stepped forward, and pressed the edge of his staff against her neck. The crowd fell silent. The aftermath, respect between warriors. For several long seconds, no one spoke. Only the echo of Kareth's heavy breathing filled the arena. Then she dropped her hammer and bowed her head. "I yield," she said, voice low but clear. "You fight with spirit I thought long dead." Holt stepped back, retracting his staff. "Then maybe we're not as different as you think." The crowd, silent at first, erupted into chaos, some cheering, others enraged. The announcer's voice trembled as it declared, "Champion Kareth yields. The human wins." The arena shook from the roar. But Holt didn't raise his hands in victory. He turned, walking toward the exit as Kareth stared after him, confusion and awe warring in her eyes. Later that night, the champion's quarters were carved deep within the arena complex. Kareth sat in silence, her wounds patched, her pride in pieces. No one had ever beaten her before, and yet she couldn't shake the image of the human's eyes. Not cold like a killer's, but haunted, like someone carrying too many ghosts. When the door hissed open, she expected guards. Instead, it was him. Aaron Holt stepped in quietly. Didn't mean to intrude. Kareth tilted her head. You came to mock me? He shook his head. To thank you. You could have killed me in the end. A humorless chuckle escaped her. No. I tried. You were beyond my reach. She looked at him carefully. Your kind, the humans, are new to this galaxy. And yet, in you, I saw something ancient. Pain tends to make things look that way, Holt said softly. We come from a small planet, but we've lost enough to know what survival costs. Kareth's gaze softened slightly. Perhaps that's why you fight like fire. Wild, consuming, but never surrendering. She stood, towering again, though her tone held respect now. Tell me, human, what do you call that power inside you? Holt hesitated. A curse, but others call it evolution. She stepped closer. Whatever it is, it humbled me, and that is rare. He smiled faintly. Maybe that's the beginning of peace, not war. She studied him for a moment, then extended one of her lower hands, a warrior's gesture of respect. Holt hesitated, then clasped it. Her grip was warm, steady. For the first time in decades, Kareth felt something unexpected. Hope. Ending. The legend of the human. Months passed. The duel became legend across Phyrexis Prime. The phrase, not just human, became a whisper of both fear and reverence among alien soldiers. Kareth retired from the arena, her defeat transforming her into a teacher, one who spoke of humility, strength, and the spirit that burns brighter than stars. As for Aaron Holt, he vanished soon after. Some said he was recalled to Earth for debriefing. Others whispered he was dying, the nanites slowly consuming him from within. But Kareth believed something else. One night, as she stood on the balcony of her citadel, watching the twin suns rise again, she saw a faint streak of blue light arc across the sky, too controlled to be a meteor. She smiled. So you still fight, human, wherever you are. And though she'd faced 1,000 warriors, it was the memory of that small, unassuming human, the one who fought not for blood or fame, but for something unseen, that would stay with her forever. Because in that moment, in that arena, she had learned a truth older than the stars themselves. To be human is to defy the impossible.